Everyone is searching for the right fit to blend community, a career-centered focus, and the opportunity to make a difference. Where friendships are formed and students always come first. Our reputation was built in Florida, a not-for-profit university with over 40 years of history, thousands of graduates, on campus and online, and now with a 100-acre residential campus. This can be your right fit. We are Kaiser University.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmart. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at Ticketsmarter.com.
I'm head coach Adam Epstein of the men's and women's swimming and diving team here at Kaiser University. We are so thrilled for this project to help support our 5-time national championship men's and women's swimming team.
This center will become a place to train and mentor Olympic hopefuls and teach the life-saving skills of swimming to our children and families.
Our goal for this year is continued success for our men and women Seahawks, to continue to strive for excellence in and out of the classroom, to compete for national championships again, and continue to represent this community with pride.
When the pool's ready, I'll come down and I'll do a swim clinic or something.
All hands on deck.
At this time, Kaiser Athletics would like to thank the following donors.
There's a gentler side of Florida, just waiting for you to discover it, where America's first resort destination was built and genuine hospitality began. A place with cleaner sands, warmer waters, and fewer crowds. A place different than the rest. One that exceeds, excels, and surpasses all expectation. Waiting here just for you. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches.
For some, golf is a hobby, while others make it their life. They see golf as thousands of career opportunities. What would it take to give you an edge? A state-of-the-industry training facility, PGA certified and master certified instructors. How about the ability to get your degree online? Kaiser University's College of Golf knows what it takes to succeed. Call or visit us online to get started.
At this time, Kaiser Athletics would like to thank our proud sponsors. Duffy's Sports Grill, Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham, Hilton Gordon Inn by The Outlets, Holiday Inn by the Airport, USA Foam, and Witch Doctor Tackle, custom fishing rods made for you.
very pleasant good afternoon to all watching as we are here for another women's soccer Sun Conference matchup today on the Kaiser Sports Network. Today we got the top 5 ranked number 4 SCAD Savannah Bees taking on your hometown Kaiser University Seahawks. My name is Ryan Garcia. I'll be joining you for the next 90 minutes of this, what seems to be a really strong NAIA women's soccer game. We'll go through the starters as we get ready and the girls take the field. For SCAD in goal, as always, number 30, Caitlin Balsiger. On defense, number 2, Haley Lander. Another defender, number 6, Sam Wong. The ever-talented forward, number 10, Abigail Siddall. Midfielder, number 11, Lane Lieberman. A defender, number 12, Talia Herman-Watt. Midfielder, number 14, Aleka Garcia Velaza. Another forward, 18, Inez Sommer. Midfielder, number 22, Abby Biddle. Number 23, Yuli Stendenbach will be on defense. And at forward, I believe the leading conference scorer, number 24, Sydney Chura. We'll be hearing her name plenty today. For the Seahawks, another new lineup, as head coach Matt Dunn will always change his lineup before seemingly every game. In goal, number 26, Zara Board. She'll get the nod again today. The captains, number 3, Yulia Forsland, and number 6, Marta Togbol, leading the defense, along with Sophie Sorum and Hannah Moscow as we get underway here. And an early foul on the Seahawks. In the midfield will be Olivia Poussette, Emily Payne, and Vicky Adam. And then up front, wingers Georgia Little and Amelia Nelson will be looking to support Lauren Riley as she gets onto the ball right now, just quickly defended by Haley Lander. A very warm day in West Palm, as always. Heat's sitting just below 90 degrees, and a very windy day out here. Look for a lot of goal kicks to travel from right to left. The Bees are a little pressured right now, and Kaiser will take control on the throw-in, done by Yulia Forsland. Head coach Rebecca Gunn has the Bees probably where she wants them. Couldn't ask for a better start. 12-0 on the year, undefeated in conference play, and holding on to that number 4 ranking. These two teams have met before. SCAD did prevail in that one. Up north in Hardyville, South Carolina, the Bees came out victorious 3-1. Kaiser hoping to change that narrative and flip the script here in their home side of the fixture. New Sun Conference scheduling makes it for home and home a little bit different on the year. Conference matches just meaning a little bit more as you get that home and home. As we see Zara Board turns the ball over. SCAD will take control, but quickly disposed of by Hannah Moscow. She'll look to work it out of the defense. Really good pressure by Inez Sommer. And she'll draw the foul. So we'll see what the Bees do. A really dangerous spot here. Looks like Abby Biddle will be stepping up to take the free kick. Only one person in the wall for the Seahawks, and that's Amelia Nielsen. Biddle looking to take this quickly. And it's away. Quickly out by the foot of Martha Togbol. And Lauren Riley's on the end of it. She'll take her space. Lander comes over and escorts the ball out of bounds. And it'll be a goal kick for the Bees and Caitlin Balsiger. Once again, Rebecca Gunn just having a great season thus far. Sydney Chura, Abigail Siddall leading the Sun Conference with 10 goals and 9 goals respectively. And holding on to that 12-0 record. I'm sure they'd love to make it 13-0 today. And another big matchup with the Seahawks. As Poussette tries to work it down the wing, but to no avail. Falls to Payne, who finds Poussette. A little bit of a run-in. Poussette will try to work it through, but the Bees will take back control and onto the feet of Siddall. The Bees are coming off another big win, recently defeating Warner 7-2. Went up 2-0 before Warner got on the board. But SCAD took control. Warner got a late goal just to make it 7-2, make it look a little closer. As Lauren Riley once again pressuring this Bees defense, working forward. Bit dangerous, but Balsinger will come and clean it up. I did forget to start my clock, but we'll get that running. Big thank you to Kalina Roberts, SID at SCAD, for all of her help and her pronunciations. Hopefully I'm doing them justice today. The Bees take back control. They look to work it out of their defense. Just well-worked passes, waiting for that final touch that'll get them through. Sorum bats the ball back into the midfield. SCAD's offense has been dominant this year, ranking 22nd in the NAI in goals scored this year with 38. Kaiser not too far behind with 31, ranking 40th in the NAI, but SCAD's offense has been potent this year. And there's Chura right at, even helping out the defense. She finds Siddall. And again, those two, you're just going to hear a lot of their names today. Very dominant forwards for the Bees. Last year and into this year once again. The Bees will have a throw-in their own territory. Stendenbach will take that one. Look for Chura. SCAD will take control, working it out towards the near side. Sam Wong takes over. Seahawks take control. Poussette finds Little, works it to Forsland down the sideline, who will send a cross in, but easy work for Balsinger in goal. Vicky Adam was pressing, but nothing too dangerous for the SCAD keeper. Bit of a clash, but well done by Lieberman to win control, keep control for the Bees. As Kaiser continues to press forward and really pressure the Bees and nearly work another turnover on the back line. As Georgia Little takes over in the final third, but her cross, just not enough on it. Didn't really get all of it. We will hear a lot of her name also. Sun Conference leader in assists this season with 7 on the year. Georgia Little's always a threat, making her way from defense to offense, really working the wing well. As the ball squirts through onto the foot of Sommer. She looks through, finds Siddall, but Siddall will not be able to keep it in bounds. Really well done, just not the final touch. Sommer just a little too much on it for Siddall. It'll be a goal kick for the Seahawks. Taken by Togbull. She does have the wind at her back. She'll probably look to use that. She blasts this one out. Not far enough as Chura takes over and will work it down the wing, crosses, and it will go out for a SCAD corner. Biddle seems to be the set piece specialist for the Bees, as she'll step to the corner, make sure she places it perfectly. A lot of targets in the box as Biddle sends it, and headed away by Moscow. Chura chases it down as Nielsen on her back. Bit of a spot for the forward to be under pressure on her own defensive line. Riley making her way through, sends it through the defender's legs, finds Vicky Adam, back to Riley, little 1-2 play, lovely work. Riley tries the cross, just couldn't get all of it. Ballsinger once again will just scoop it up and take her time, letting the Bees reset. Talked about Rebecca Gunn. Obviously, we have to mention head coach for the Seahawks, Matt Dunn. Not the best start on the year, but looking to get his team back in form after back-to-back wins on the road against Warner and Weber. As we see Sommer again working the ball through the middle, trying to pass it through. But this one will go straight into the arms of Zarbord. Once again, with the wind on her back, big feature today. Just able to get that much more under the ball, and it will travel with this West Palm wind. Floating ball, a bit dangerous for the Seahawks. Emily Payne will get under it and kick it away. But Herman Watt seems to have it under control. Well played to get by two defenders. Player down for the Bees. Didn't see if she must have fell. That was Stendenbach. It'll be a quick throw in right in front of the bench for Forsland. She looks to push the ball forward to no avail. However, Poussette will be on the end of it now. Finds Little working down the sideline. Little looking to cross, will cross. Poussette gets on the end of it after a couple of Adams just wide. Little tries to cross back in, but a well-played dive and save on the cross for Ballsiger once again. Adam does have that long shot in her pocket. Just outside the box, she's scored it many times. You may see her on a few free kicks for the Seahawks if they get the opportunity today. As we read back into head coach for the Seahawks, Matt Dunn. Couldn't even get to it because Sommers once again on the attack. Passes to Chura. Chura with the low shot, saved nicely by Board. Little diving save, but enough of a scare. She felt the need to go down and get it. Will be the first shot of the day for either side. As Riley pushes forward on the right wing. Crosses in, but again, just not getting enough under it. Straight to the arms of Ballsiger. So we'll try this time to talk about head coach Matt Dunn, as he leads the Seahawks with a 6-4-2 record this year. 4-3-1 in the Sun Conference, sitting fourth in the standings. Couple big wins for the Seahawks on the road. just this past week. First true road wins of the season for the Seahawks. Played 4 neutral site matchups to begin the year. As Wynn might be picking up on the mic. Apologize for that. But picked up his first 2 road wins of the season. 2 important ones as he moves into second place of all Kaiser coaches all time for a single sport, with 220 career wins under his belt. As Poussette works down left wing, tries to find Adam, just not there. Just a little too much on it. As Coach Dunn looks to capture one more win, as we have a foul on the back line by the Seahawks, to get closer to Coach Massimino, who is the all-time record holder for wins at Kaiser University. Big accomplishment, but I think he wants this win not for his record book, but for the season. A little push in the back on the Bees by Garcia Velasquez. Just a little reckless. Pushes over Payne. Free kick for the Seahawks just in front of the midfield line. And once again, with Togwall in the back of these, this ball could be flying into the box. Back line for SCAD pushed up just beyond the 18 as they hope to trap the Seahawks forwards, not allow them to get too far behind. As the kick is away, and they'll do just that. A bouncing ball. Ballsiger has no problems with it. Ranges to her left and grabs it out of the air. We did mention that the Bees took that earlier matchup this season between the two sides. SCAD taking a 3-1 win over the Seahawks. Up in Hardyville for the first of 2 Sun Conference matchups between the sides as Forsland works to the middle. Gives it a good cross. Just far. Tries to find Nielsen, just again out of reach. But not quite close enough to the head. Don't believe they gave that a shot. Siddall began that scoring last time these two sides met. In the 5th minute, as Georgia Little take back to this action. Crosses into the middle, cleared away. Headed away by Herman Watt very nicely. A lot of power behind that header as Moscow brings it back to the back line of the Seahawks as Zarboard will try to clear it away. Just to find Garcia Velasquez. Siddall takes over, back to Velasquez. Poussette will step in, clear that ball away. Back on September 20th, Siddall did have that opener. Togwell scored just before the half on a long, bouncing free kick. And the second half was all belonged to the Bees for the scores for Salmer, and then Siddall closed it out in the 79th minute. As Riley takes over, works it down the right wing. Has Adam in the middle if she wants it. Chooses to fall back to Little. Little once again dangerous on these crosses. Cleared away once again by Herman Watt. She'll have a lot of work under her for these crosses today. Siddall just keeping the defender on her back. As Chura, Siddall, and Sommer begin to develop their front triangle. Herman Watt looks to work it forward to them. Forsland has trouble. Siddall makes a good deflection, but ball bounces a little unfortunate for her. Bounces right into her hand, and a handball will be called. Free kick for the Seahawks. just outside their own box. Ball bouncing around in the midfield. Cleared out by the Bees. Kaiser will take over. Another throw-in for Julia Forsland. Skellefteå, Sweden native. One of the more exciting things about working with this team is learning all the countries, all the languages, and more importantly, all the pronunciations. As we do have SCAD Savannah B down. She works it back to her feet. I believe that's Abigail Siddall, which will be concerning for the Bees, but she's walking on her own. She'll look to continue. No issues with the ref, no worries. Stay on. She runs off and gets right back into defense. Kaiser will attack that right wing. Cross from Lauren Riley. Scooped up again. Balsiger. Stepping out on these crosses. Just in the starting lineup alone, we have 6 different nationalities represented. Sweden, Norway, Australia, Hungary, Japan, and England, of course. Lauren Riley, Staffordshire, England. SCAD once again tries to work it into that left corner. Sydney Chura running it down. Looks back. Teammate wasn't ready for it. That was Stendebach. Not quite ready to receive it. Georgia Little working around the defense, but Hannah Lander making a good play on the ball, stepping off her defender, defending the ball and getting it under control for the Bees. She'll be under pressure from Little. Kick it out as Forsland has another throw in deep in Bees territory. Picks out Riley. Riley picks out Forsland. Forsland moving forward, tries to cross, blocked off to the foot of Adam. Finds the foot of Riley, who will take a stab at it, but will go far wide left of the net. No troubles for the keeper. Falls to the foot of Vicky Adam, who has that long shot. Fires just above the goal and out of play. Very dangerous. Always on the ball is Vicky Adam. One of the more fun cities to say in Gyöngyös, Hungary. You wouldn't know it if you talked to her. Spent a lot of time in boarding school in England, so she really adopted that British accent. She's proud to represent Hungary. Georgia Little works it down the right side. Did have a foul called. Correction, no foul called. Just a good tackle. Can't quite make out that number. That was Siddall again. Just throwing her body at this one. We'll have the first corner of the day for the Seahawks. Seahawks ranking 8th in the NAI in corner kicks taken. It will be Georgia Little on it as she strikes it into the middle. Forsland gets on the end of it. Not much behind that shot. Cleared away. Chura tries to work around Togbull, but Not going to happen. We will have a stoppage. And we'll get to our first hydration break. Once again, hot conditions today. We'll step away. You're listening to Kaiser Seahawks Women's Soccer on the Kaiser Sports Network. And we're back with a couple subs ready to check in for the Seahawks. Looks like Angelina Coelho, number 28, set to check in. She'll replace Adam. We did have a sub also for SCAD. I believe Hannah Birchfield checked into the game. Not sure who she replaced. She was standing before the hydration break to come in. Seahawks will take the throw in quickly. Georgia Little will give off the throw-in to Forsland here. She has Little if she wants. Short throw. Comes into Coelho. Coelho looks to Little, but a little too much on it, as it'll go out for a goal kick. I thought Birchfield would come into the game, but it looks like she's not out. I don't see her out there. Getting told she was set to come in for Siddall, but change of plans for head coach Rebecca Gunn. As Balsiger plays it out. And I, of course, forget to run my clock again. Apologies for that. Coelho works forward, tries to draw the foul from Lander. Doesn't get any sympathy from the referee. Balsiger will once again collect it. Can't be fooled too much by the Bees. For long periods of time, it may look like they're just on their back foot, getting pressured, but at any moment they could strike and head forward, especially with these three forwards, Siddall, Chura, and Sommer. It's a rough tackle in the middle. Falls to the foot of Sommer now. Making her way through three Seahawk defenders. Kicks it forward. Togbo will dispose of it. As Amelia Nielsen playing defense. The winger from Sweden. Let's Coach Dunn know she can play anywhere on the field. Riley plays it to Coelho. Doesn't see Nielsen on the opposite side of her running through. Could have been a very dangerous play. But instead, SCAD will take over. Garcia Valaza presses it through just too far in front of Chura to take anything. Just 3 total shots in this game. 2 high-powered offenses, feeling each other out. Don't want to risk too much. Don't want to get beat, obviously. But knowing that that one goal could be the difference maker. And once again, 2 very high-powered NAIA programs. Rankings just coming out over 24 hours ago. The Bees claiming that 5th spot. As Kaiser works in front, Coelho tries to get around Herman Watt and will force Herman Watt to get rid of the ball and press it out of bounds. Coelho with the quick throw to Poussette. But good defense from the Bees will work it out. Siddall, bit of a dummy, works it through. Not calling Siddall a dummy, but a dummy dribble, letting it go past her, of course. SCAD takes the throw. Coelho just trying to dispose Lane Lieberman of the ball. Almost picked her pocket. The cross from the Bees won't do anything. Toggle with the long kick out in front. Looks like we may have some subs waiting for the Seahawks. Will be Oline Sungot, Ramona Kennedy, and Seda Uko making their first appearances today. Lauren Riley and Amelia Nielsen take a seat. Couldn't see who else came off for the Seahawks. Siddall once again finding the ball at her foot. Looks to Chura, not there. Togball takes over. Tries to find Kennedy on the right wing. But eventually the ball goes out for a throw-in for the Bees. Coelho relentlessly chasing down defender Wong. As Chura looks to make something happen, but just kicks it out of bounds. Anna Moscow takes over. Uko, the normal starter, finds her way onto the pitch. Done opting for another look this afternoon. Not unlike him, after covering him for a couple years, he does like to change up these lineups, figure out what works, as Poussette disrupts the midfield pass, finds Sungot, who passes over to Kennedy, whose ball is saved, and after the save, Uko finds it, but it will be saved by Balsiger. A very golden opportunity for the Seahawks. Possible that Kennedy could have done better. Sungot passes up her opportunity, leaves Kennedy one-on-one. But Balsiger, once again, just a dominant goalie as Uko looks to Kennedy. A little too far in front. Last time this game was played, Balsiger made 12 saves against the Seahawks, allowed just one goal. And for her efforts, was named not only Sun Conference Defensive Player of the Week, but National Player of the Week for the NAIA as well. So a definite threat back there for the Bees. SCAD, normally all or nothing kind of play style. A lot of attacking up front, a lot of defending at the same time. Balsiger with her 56 saves in the NAI as Sungot works to the foot of this one, but blasts it over the net. She wants a deflection off of Herman Watt, but once again not getting sympathy from the referee here. Looks like JC Beaver ready to check in for the Bees once the ball goes out. Kennedy to Sungot to Uko, back to Kennedy, shot from Kennedy just high. Well worked play. Seahawks really pressuring this back line of the Bees as JC Beaver does make her first appearance for the Bees in the midfield. She'll replace Aleka Garcia Velaza, who has seen a lot of time on the ball. Definitely a mainstay of that midfield. Moscow quick on the throw, finds Poussette, works it to Payne. Little volleys back to each other. Poussette looks for the deep ball, finds Coelho. Coelho in the box. Passes it off to Sungot. Sungot looks back, passes it off to Poussette, whose shot goes wide. So another shot for these Seahawks, pressing their total to 7 on the day. Just 2 on goal, but definitely a lot of chances for the Seahawks. Ones that I'm sure many of them will want a second chance at. They'll have to work to have their second chances. Herman Watt clears this one away. Toggle once again, firing it back to this back line of the Bees. Uko gets on the end of it. Looks to Coelho. Not on the same page as the ball rolls out of bounds. Kim Wong will be taking the throw-in. Throw won't go far, but it'll come back to her and she'll kick it out of bounds. And a Moscow. Another throw for her. Looks to Sungot. With the ball cleared away. That was Lieberman once again clearing the ball for the Bees. Poussette finds Payne midfield. Payne looks to Kennedy on the right wing. But SCAD just weathering the storm that is the Kaiser offense. Stendenbach heading that ball out of bounds. Forsland tries to find Sungot. The ball goes out of play for a SCAD throw. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this first half. No score here. 7 shots for Kaiser to SCAD's 1 shot. As Ramona works around the defender, finds Coelho, but her shot is blocked. Big play from Wong. Forsland working it through. And once again, Lieberman clearing the back line as Chura gets on the end of it. Tries to beat Poussette. Will not do so. As Poussette and Moscow link up for a little one-on-one. Chura gets called for the foul on Moscow. And we'll see who's tasked with sending this ball into the box. Looks like it will be Hannah Moscow, native of Sapporo, Japan. One of 3 Japanese players on the Seahawks team, along with Mifumi Sasanama and Seida Uko, who's on the pitch joining her. Moscow rips this ball in. One bounce just in the reach of Balsiger. A little more bounce, it would have been scary, but she didn't seem too worried about it. She makes the save. Strong defensive attack from Forsland. Get another throw in for the Seahawks just beyond midfield. As Togboth throws this one in. Coelho gets on the end of it. Another dangerous opportunity. Just hit wide. Tough play for Coelho to put anything under that. Once again, 11 different nationalities on this Seahawks team, so apologies. Switching languages. As we have Japanese, Hungary, Sweden, England, Australia, Norway, Mexico. List stops at 11, but feels like it goes on. As Payne works it to the right wing. Just a little too far for Kennedy. A Swiss. And it'll go to the goalie, Balsiger, the American. Seahawks do have an American on the field, Coelho. I believe she's of Portuguese descent, but does prefer the American pronunciation of her last name. To Cuesta, Florida native. Forsland works it forward. Uko on the end of it. Has time, has space. Crosses in. Finds Forsland. She'll work back towards Uko. Uko with the cross. I believe that was Biddle on the end of that one, sending it away. Nice slide tackle in the midfield for Emily Payne, dispossessing Inez Sommer. Emily Payne, second-year player out of Stockholm, Sweden. Has worked her way into the starting lineup as of late. Kennedy tries to get around the defender to no avail as Stendebach saw right through her. That'll be Biddle sending it forward. Just no one home. Throw in deep in their own territory for the Seahawks. Not too much pressure from the Bees at the moment. They'll just play it short. Togball with the wind behind her. Will work it forward. Finds Sungat, who will play it to Kennedy down the right wing. Has numbers. 3-on-3 for the Seahawks. What will Kennedy do? Tries to get around Lander. Lander looking to escort her out of bounds. And a decision to be made. Referee calls it goal kick. Correction, he called a foul late on that one. Looked like he was looking towards the center ref to make a call. Decided a little too much action from Kennedy. Balsiger not able to do much with that goal kick. Works it out of bounds. The Seahawks will play the out of bounds game down the line. Payne will take a long shot. Just wide. Nothing doing. We'll have a sub for the Bees. JC Beaver coming off. I believe now we're seeing Hannah Birchfield make her way onto the pitch. As Sommer works back to the attacking midfield role. for the Bees. Togball stepping in front of Sommer. Just making life uneasy for the Bees attack. Right around midfield throw in for the Bees. As we approach 3.5 minutes remaining. Poussette plays the ball in. Lander on the end of it. She'll kick it away. Feeling pressured by Sungot. A little bit of help from Ninka Rucker on the sideline, trying to get her the ball as fast as possible. A couple of Seahawks out with injuries today. Ellen Mound, Heidi Mueller, and Ninka Rucker. All not likely to see any action. As Quelo tries to find the cross. Feels like the majority of this game has been played in the forward half of the Seahawks. Even in possession of the Bees, Kaiser, high pressure offense, high pressure defense. As the Seahawks will get a free kick here. Will be Hannah Moscow once again on the end of this one. SCAD just jumping up and down, much to the dismay of Moscow as they press forward on the jumping tactic. Can't say I've seen that one before, but see how it works. A lot of jumping. As Moscow steps forward, takes a shot straight into the wall. It was distracting enough. Quelo on the end of it. Finds Uko. Uko with the cross off Lander. Quelo once again on it. On the left foot. Just wide. As we approach 90 seconds here in West Palm Beach. Sophie Sorum works the ball forward. Sungot tries to make something happen. Not quite there.
1 minute.
As we hear the 1 minute call. SCAD trying to get a final attack on Ramona Kennedy. Take the foul. And a good foul at that on Biddle. Herman Watt will try to take as much space as she can with this free kick, get as much forward. The referee will send her back. It's not often you get an eventful 0-0 game, but this is what we have. As we close in on the half, Zara Board getting leveled by Birchfield. No response from the ref. But well done for Board to step off her line.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
We will reach the half with no score through the first 45. Kaiser leading the shots 12-1. Not much to show for it. A couple of dangerous opportunities for the Seahawks as we head into the halftime break. You're listening to the Kaiser Sports Network.
Your score at the half, Kaiser Seahawks 0,
Welcome back to Arrigo Vicelio Field. The tunes are going, songs are playing, both teams dancing. Good fives for both sides. SCAD probably a little happier to get out of that first half unscathed. Kaiser owning the majority of the chances. Just the one shot on goal for the Bees, Sydney Chura, but saved. Not too much issues for Zara Board. Plenty of chances for the Seahawks. Kennedy with the most rememberable one-on-one with the keeper. Balsiger coming out big, making herself a large target, and making the save in the one-on-one opportunity. Seahawks still leading in shots, 12-1. Just one corner for both sides, 4 fouls for both sides. 3 shots on goal in favor of the Seahawks to just that one for the Bees as Kaiser makes their way back onto the field. Looks like it's a nearly identical lineup to the starters for the Seahawks. Just seeing one change in there. Looks like Seda Uko will get the second half start. As the Bees come out, get ready with their huddle. Once again, no score. Top 25 matchup. Number 5, SCAD Savannah. Number 18, Kaiser Seahawks. Teams work their way into formation. Referee stands at midfield. Now I remember to set my clock as we begin the second half. Kaiser opts for the long ball off the opening kick. Ball worked out of bounds in favor of the Bees. Starting that second half for the Bees, Balsiger, Siddall, Chura, Sommer, Lieberman, Wong, Stendebach, Biddle, Lander, Garcia Velazza coming back in, and Herman Watt on that back line. As Wong dances away from a defender. Just deflected off of Amelia Nielsen. A foul given in favor of the Bees. Just in front of midfield. Vicky Adam will make sure they don't take that one too quickly. For Kaiser. Zara Board stays in net. Sophie Sorum, Hannah Moscow, Martha Togbo, and Yulia Forsland standing on that back line. Midfield will be Vicky Adam, Seda Uko, and Emily Payne. So Olivia Poussette will start the second half on the bench for the Seahawks. Up front, same starters from the beginning. Lauren Riley up front in the middle, assisted by her 2 wingers, Amelia Nielsen and Georgia Little on either side of her. As Payne takes control. Finds Musco, who will work it towards the middle. Finds Uko. Uko looks forward. Balsiger out of her box, but clears it away. Wind on her back. She will surely try to use that to her favor today, especially in this second half with the wind behind her. Siddall looking for a foul, not going to get it. As Georgia Little gets on it, she'll give it back to Forsland for the throw right in front of our box. That she will get the foul as Forsland just a little too aggressive on that one. Much to the displeasure of the men's soccer team here in support. Gavin Oldham's side took a draw against these SCAD Savannah Bees on the road yesterday, 2-2. A little comeback victory or comeback draw, I should say, for them. Down 0-2 to start. Timo Boomkins and Michael Bisotti, who converted a penalty kick for the Seahawks, evened up that game. Men's soccer, of course, jumping just one more spot than women's soccer this week in the national rankings. Moved up from 19 to 17. Women's soccer moved up from 19 to 18. As Moscow looks forward, Herman Watt there, but Riley getting in front of it, deflecting it backwards. Wong tries to get it away. Amelia Nielsen getting in her way, deflects it out for another throw. As an SID of multiple sports here on the Kaiser campus, never afraid to show off some of my other sports. Tennis in action up at the ITA Cup in Rome, Georgia. Soufiane El Misbahi getting the win over previously ranked number 1 Alex Garmendi of Georgia Gwinnett on the men's side. Also on the men's side, Shahid Alam advances into the second round. The 7-6, 6-1 victory over Vaclav Schneider. On the women's side, previously number 1 Violet Apisa cruises through her first round matchup, 6-3, 6-0 over Scatini of LSUA. As we come back to this action, Georgia Little rips it from deep. Just a little too high for her. Isabella Perez Flores gets a 6-2, 6-2 win, her first round matchup. Katie Vishnevskaya, newcomer for the Seahawks this year, gets her win 6-0, 6-1. So singles out of the way for tennis at the moment. A few doubles matches coming up this afternoon. Again, all this information, of course, always on KUSeahawks.com. You can find a live stream, live stats, doing it all up in Georgia. Alam and El Misbahi will team up in doubles on the men's side. As Uko crosses it in. Looks to Little. Little will get on the end of it eventually. Works towards the baseline. Comes back out, nothing there. Siddall comes in, disrupts it. Will go out of play for a throw. Forsland will work it quick to Riley. Riley to Little. Off the linesman. Forsland back on it for another throw. Deep in SCAD territory. The throw will go to Stendenbach, who clears it away. Little keeps it in. And back off another SCAD B for another Kaiser throw. Forsland finds Uko. Uko with the dangerous ball. Not quite finding Nielsen. As Little once again on it. Works her way towards the end line. And once again, deflected out of bounds. Off a SCAD player. Out for a throw. Little works it into Adam. Finds Uko. Sorm rushes in, but her pass will go out of play, and Ballsiger will play a quick goal kick for the SCAD Bees. Once again, doubles action at the ITA. Whoa. Slide tackle from Emily Payne. Taken over. Running through the Bees as Nielsen gets on it. She'll work down the left wing. Crosses it in. Once again looking for Little, not quite there. Little on the end of it again. Works to that right wing. Not sure where to go with it. As she finds space, gets the cross off, finds Amelia Nielsen for the goal, and the Seahawks lead. Georgia Little just taking her time, creating space as much as she could, and crossing it just over the SCAD keeper to find Amelia Nielsen for the goal. And Nielsen not having to do much with it, just get on the end of it, work it with the body, and put it in.
Seahawks goal by number 23, Amelia Nielsen. Assist number 13, Georgia Little.
And Kaiser takes the lead here in West Palm. We talked about it in the first half. Georgia Little leading the conference in assists this year. She ranks highly in the NAIA. And once again, her cross finds another Seahawk in the middle for a goal. This time, Amelia Nielsen, who has shown up in the past week, just continuously scoring goals, getting assists. She was honored as our HSS Player of the Week for all of Kaiser Sports. She was your Women's Player of the Week this past week. Kaiser is also not one to be happy with just one goal. I don't believe you will see a slowdown on this Seahawks attack. They will relentlessly come after you. SCAD, of course, a potent offense, always looking to score. One of the best in the country at doing so. They will be backs against the wall now. So the number 18 Seahawks have the 1-0 lead on the Bees. Delayed goal kick comes out from board. Once again, the wind continues to howl as the Bees come forward. Will be Sommer on it, working around the defender. Looks like a deep throw. Stendebach on the end of it. She'll look in for Velaza, but dispossessed. And Riley coming up with it. Space. Takes the one-on-one with Lander. She wants it. She's got it, and Lander disposes her. A well-played defensive effort from Lander to pick the pocket of Riley. Both wanted the challenge. Both took it. As an interception in the middle for Uko to Little. Once again, finding Nielsen. Nielsen with the shot. Couldn't quite get under it. Ball deflected out for a Kaiser throw. Once again, if you're just joining us, no score at the half. But Kaiser jumps out in front in the second half to take the lead off a cross from Georgia Little, finding Amelia Nielsen on the back post. As Vicky Adam takes her chance. Swings wide. Wind will be a factor. That ball goes all the way out and goes out for a throw. SCAD will look to sub now. Looks like Sam Wong coming out of the game in favor of Emily Lau. Wong playing all 45 of the first half, getting an early rest in the second. As Riley comes down the wing, she'll cross it in. Balsiger on the end of it. Collects it. Kaiser will be backed into their own territory with the throw. SCAD pressing a little bit higher this half. That throw didn't even look to make it in bounds. SCAD will take over in the midfield. Once again, right back to Kaiser on the foul from the Bees. So the second half may look a little bit different strategy-wise from both sides. SCAD obviously having the wind at their back in this half. Kaiser going against the wind. Either way, Martha Togbal will boom it down for Herman Watt. Gets it out of play. So Amelia Nielsen, in her last 3 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. Really making her mark as another newcomer on this team. It's 3 balls go to Sydney Chura. She doesn't know quite what to do with it for the throw-in. Moscow will look forward, looks to Riley, gets it around one defender. Riley looks to the midfield, finds Uko. Uko not quite able to handle it, goes to Adam. Adam across to Little. Little with the shot. Side netting. They will say saved by Balsiger. But another really well-worked attack from this Seahawks offense. As the shot total pushes to 17-1 in favor of Kaiser. Just an absolute onslaught of attack. And it will be another corner for Georgia Little. She whips it in to the foot of Riley, but just out of play. Not quite able to put it on target. An unfortunate theme for these Seahawks. Lots of shots. Out shooting their opponents in all but 1 game this season. But still sporting that 6-4-2 record. With a couple bounces, a couple shots just on target. Completely different season for these Seahawks. But they won't fret on it. They won't sit on it. They're looking to get back on track. And here comes Riley looking to do more damage. Payne gets on the end of it, finds her fellow Swede and Nielsen. Nielsen works down the left wing. Well played defending here from the sub, Emily Lau. Just escorting that ball out of play. Balsiger with that wind behind her, not quite getting under it. Probably what the strategy should be. Just get that ball as high into the air as you can and let that wind just take it to the other side. Kaiser tries it. That's what happens when you're against it. Zara Board's ball bounces back towards her. near the midfield. Chura on the end of it now. Payne gets in front of her. Ball bounces around. Togball will kick it away. Right to the foot of Riley. Riley looks to turn. Once again taking on Lander. Lander not having any of it. As Adam looks to push through Riley. But just too far in front. Not much doing. Ballsiger on the end of it. That kick sails out of play for another Seahawks throw. So with that goal, Amelia Nielsen now working into second place on the team in goals, just sitting in between Lauren Riley and Ramona Kennedy with her 5th on the year. As we do have a SCAD corner here. Looks to be Abby Biddle once again back on these set pieces. Just the second corner of the game for the Bees. Tied with the Seahawks. As Biddle will whip it in. Looks to 23, I believe. That was Stendebach, but not much doing as the ball resets to Lau at the midfield. She'll try to go forward. Sommer in the end of it. Not able to control it, and the ball will go out of play. SCAD does have a sub waiting, but as long as Kaiser's in possession, she won't get to do so. Looks to be Mia Gomez waiting to get the nod to come in. Another forward out of Austin, Texas. She'll wait her turn as Uko gets on the end of it. Nielsen looks ahead. Opts to go back. Moscow will change that. Send it into the midfield. Trying to find Adam. As Emily Payne working around Siddall. A nice little dribble. Gets it back to her. Comes to Little. Little and Uko working together. As they do. Runs down the right line. Little with the cross. Just out of reach for Lauren Riley. Nearly on the end of it. Just misses on the header. Could have been 2-0. As SCAD subs in Mia Gomez, she'll come in for Aleka Garcia Veleza. Velaza. And if you're the Seahawks, you're just thinking, man, we just have all these shots. Something's got to fall. And that's the right mindset to have, is to continue to attack. Continue to attack. It got them their first goal, courtesy of Amelia Nielsen on the end of a Georgia Little cross. And it may result in more still today. The ball goes out of play. Kaiser now with the sub waiting. Angelina Coelho. She'll take the field in place of Lauren Riley. Another great set of minutes for Riley. Always pressuring the back line. She'll want that chance at the header back, but she'll settle for a win, I'm sure. If that happens, as Togbull works it back, Board will come out, collect the loose ball. A smart decision from Togbull to just head that ball backwards, allowing her keeper to grab it in the box. Board clears it away. Booming kick against the wind. Adam plays it through, looks to Coelho. Coelho on the end of it. Lander tries to clear, finds Coelho. Coelho gets in between. She'll work the corner. And a well-worked attack for the offense of the Seahawks. Coelho doing everything she can against Lander and earns that corner. The ever-dangerous Georgia Little setting up for another corner, third of the day for these Seahawks. Has Uko short, but Uko will walk away from it. Will be whipped in from Little. Headed on by Vicky Adam, but out of reach. Moscow looked like she may have had a chance at it. Opted not to go for it. Left it through. Vicky Adam had a good shot at it, but headed away. Balsinger again with the line drive kicks. Finds Adam. Adam on the way through. Adam all alone. Kicks it back to Uko. Uko's shot. High and wide. Once again, if you're Balsinger and you notice this wind, get this ball up as high as you can. I don't want to call it quite a jet stream up there, but it feels like it when the ball is kicked high enough. But again, she opts for the line drive. Coelho will continue to run down these SCAD defenders and just force a mistake. Force a loose ball. And a loose ball go out of play as we get our hydration break for the second half. Seahawks lead. Not off the foot, not off the head, but off the body of Amelia Nielsen coming from the cross of Georgia Little. We'll go to a quick break. You're listening to the Kaiser Sports Network. As we come back out of this hydration break. Crowd has developed around Arrigo Vecchilio Field men's soccer, coming out in support, as always, of the women's soccer team. Of course, family all around, watching and waiting to see what happens with this highly contested women's soccer matchup. As Kaiser retains possession out of the hydration break. And a clean pass straight through from the back line of Yulia Forsland. SCAD defender forced to play it out. Georgia Little tries the cross. Not much doing. Uko works it to Coelho. Coelho looks to cross. Not quite enough under it. Whiffs a bit of the ball, but that's okay. She may have another chance here as Forsland back on the throw. Goes right back to Coelho. Back out to Forsland. Forsland, weak cross. It'll be played back towards the back line of the Seahawks. Togwell watching it. She'll let it go out for a throw. It's Kaiser not in any rush here. And why should they be? Up 1-0 on a top 5 opponent. They'll be more than happy to get away with this 1-0 win if they can get there. But nothing ever guaranteed as SCAD takes control. As we look to have a sub for the Bees, it will be Alyssa Smith checking in for her first minutes. Surprising sub of Inez Sommer. Might see Sommer later, as any minutes without her on the field isn't the strongest SCAD Savannah you're going to get. SCAD working the quick throw. As Mia Gomez crosses it all the way across the field. Looks like Kaiser did check in with Fumi Sasanuma on that left wing, getting her first action of the day. So Sasanuma will check in. I believe she replaced the goal scorer Nielsen at the hydration break. Georgia Little with space in front of her. Opts to go back and find Forsland. Two wingers working with each other. Forsland moves the ball forward. Coelho gets in front of it. No call from the ref. Now just a throw-in for the Bees. Stendebach working in all of her minutes, getting everything out of her. Before Smith plays the ball through, and Kaiser will direct it out of bounds. Stendebach once again on the throw. As we will have another SCAD sub. This time it'll be Mia Nelson. Out of Elkhorn, Nebraska. SCAD recruiting all over the country. Hannah Moscow deflects that ball, heads it away, out of danger. "70 minutes gone, 20 still to play. It's just under 18. Kaiser leads 1-0. Amelia Nielsen, the goal scorer. Her fifth of her freshman campaign to put Kaiser in front. Was a well-worked cross from Georgia Little. Found Nielsen on the back post. Worked it over Balsiger, who had no chance on the finish. Nielsen not needing much on it, just got her body to it. Just placed it into the net. It's Vicky Adam working the dribble, working the cross. Crosses it over to Little. She tried to sell it off that it wasn't her arm that kept it in control, but I think the lines person was well onto her. We'll get a handball just outside the box for the Bees. She'll play it back to Balsiger as the Bees work out of their own half. Sophie Sorum. Haven't said her name much, haven't needed to. Kaiser's offense playing all the defense during this game. But the back two of Kaiser, center backs Togboll and Sorum, Badum and Kongsvinger, Norway, well represented here in West Palm Beach, as well as Eastern Florida State, both national champions with the JUCO side a couple of years ago. Both took their talents at the same time to come to see Kaiser and see if they could win another one. As Forsland just clearing this ball away. Stendebach once again on these throws. Smith continues to play it over the top of her own head. And this time, it'll work all the way for a SCAD corner. It will be Sydney Chura on the corner. She looks to whip it in. There it goes. Far, way out of the box. Even through the wind. Kaiser will take their first sub. And it will be Olivia Poussette. Back onto the field, replacing Vicky Adam. Poussette, the transfer from Bridgeport. But of course, as Siddle gets on the end of it, fires a shot, Board makes the save. A little uneasy, but collects it nonetheless, will fall on top of it. Taking as much time as she can away from this clock. Tried to add, Poussette was, of course, another native of Sweden, Halmstad, Sweden. So many Swedes on this team learned how to count. As Chura gets on the end of it, fires a shot just wide. Dangerous shot, even from that angle. Sydney Chura can never be too safe when she's around. Kaiser will go to the bench once again. Looks like Georgia Little. It will be Georgia Little making her way. Kaiser will do a little bit of a rotation as Mafumi Sasanama will work to the right wing. Angelina Coelho will work to the left wing, and Oline Sungat, who checked in for Little, will work into the forward spot. This is Sungat, natural winger, working down the side. Takes the tackle. Nothing doing from the ref. Poussette on the end of it. Looks to Mafumi Sasanama. Sasanama with the chip, but she will be called offsides. Just off by the linesman. A well-worked ball from Poussette. As Uko, once again, Balsiger, just these line drive opportunities, not enough. Sungat rips from deep, but rips wide. Balsiger now, a little more urgency in her appearance. She's rushing out to take these goal kicks. And again, line drives. This one bouncing towards the midfield. Sommer did check back in at one point. Figured we wouldn't be seeing the end of her. As Poussette on the end of it again. Looks to Sungat. Correction, looks to Coelho on the left wing. Coelho always working towards the ball. Keeps it in. But the SCAD defender does well to take it herself. As Biddle plays it through, but nobody home. And Zara Board will be more than happy to take it to her end line and wait for Chura to force her to pick it up. Valuable time just wasted. And Kaiser once again in control. As Board blasts the ball forward. Coelho on the end of it. Didn't quite get what she wanted. She'll work it through to Seda Uko. Uko looking for Mafumi. Mafumi looking on the end of it. Dangerous play. Balsinger a little too comfortable with that one. As Togbal works it back into the legs of Poussette. Just over 11 minutes to play here, and Kaiser is not done. Togbal up front. Looks to Coelho. Coelho, her touch, just too much. And she'll let it go out for a goal kick. Once again, this Kaiser offense will not stop. They will not let you rest. And once they're tired, they will bring in a substitute to take advantage and continue to attack, as they get a handball called on Sommer here. Again, they'll take their time in doing it. Referee asking, move a little quicker, and Moscow saying, hey, they kicked it away. We'll take our time. That's Togbull once again putting the ball through to the corner. Sun got on the end of it. Sun got works around one, passes it back to Sasanama. Sasanama crosses it in just over the head of Uko. Nobody quite at that back post. And once again, out for a goal kick for Balsiger. We don't keep track of goal kicks, but it's got to be a ton here for the goalie. Coelho once again just being an absolute pest and getting the foul. The Sunshine State Conference newcomer of the year last year for Florida Southern has stepped into this Kaiser offense and made it her own. Moscow on this free kick looks to Sungot. Lander does a good job of getting it away, but just to the legs of Pousset, who finds Coelho again. Coelho sliding in, gets enough of it, get it back to Moscow. But Sommer, well done on the ball, finds Siddall. Siddall looking to her left, finds Stendebach. Stendebach down the left side. Forsland steps in with the big tackle and clears it away. And SCAD will go for another sub. It looks to be, oh, we're going to get a stoppage on the clock. As the Seahawks will sub Ramona Kennedy in for Coelho. It was Sam Wong checking back in for the Bees. As Julia Forsland once again trying to clear this ball out. And we'll get it out far enough. Sasanama and Uko working around, but just too far in front. Sasanama's ball to Uko. SCAD will get another throw. 8 minutes left to play here in West Palm. It's been mostly Kaiser. The 2 wins last week, refreshing this attack, but not spoken too early. A SCAD on the attack. A long-range shot from number 19, Mia Nielsen, will go in. I believe it was Siddall who gave it to her. Mia Nelson with the long-range shot. Absolutely beautiful goal from the edge of the box. And again, this SCAD attack does not rest. They're one of the best in the nation for a reason. And they showed again why they can't be counted out. Bit of gamesmanship from the assistant coach, Sinead Byrne. Just touching the ball a little bit further out on the sideline. Sydney Chura coming along strong. Just gets the leg of Sophie Sardom. It will be a foul. Kaiser will get back possession. Hannah Moscow's ball comes through to Oline Sungot, but just too much touch under it. Ball will go out for another goal kick. As subs will be awarded. Seahawks subbing in Lauren Riley for Sungot. And Georgia Little will come in for Seda Ugo. Just when you think Kaiser's got this game under control, the SCAD offense comes through. Did get confirmation on that goal. It was assist from Inez Sommer and Abigail Siddall. Who else? But 2 of the 3 forwards for the Bees. 2 of the best in the Sun Conference. 2 of the best probably in the country. Sommer once again on the end of it. Looking to find numbers. Work back from Riley out to Sasanama. Fumi plays it through to Little. Little looks to get around Stenderbach, but not quite doing. Goes out for a throw. Little finds Riley. Riley plays Little through down the line. Little not able to work that cross. Clashes with the flag in the corner as we get by the 5-minute mark. Looked like she tried to swing her leg out, and when she swung it forward to kick, got a lot of that NAI, a corner flag. Sasanama's back on it. Works it back to Forsland. Forsland looking to start this Seahawks attack once again. And wisely kicked out by Siddall. Forsland looks to get by Stenderbach, but Stenderbach just too much. But Togwell will get in her way, stop the attack. Not a lot of substitution for these SCAD Bees in hot weather. Siddall, Biddle, Chura, Herman Watt, and Balsiger, of course, along with Stenderbach, getting no rest today. On the pitch for all the minutes. We are aware of the score bug going down. I'll try to keep you as updated as possible. Still obviously 1-1 with 3 minutes to play. Don't want to get away from this. These last 3 minutes could be crucial for both sides. And what could be a big win or a big draw. A well-worked ball from Sasanama finds Kennedy. Kennedy back in onto that left wing. Looks back, looking for support. Gets dispossessed. Sommer on the end of it. Tries to find Chura, does. Chura looks ahead. Smith to Siddall. A big clash in the middle. Played on. Poussette gets fouled, but will play on. Georgia on the front. And a rough challenge. Little wants the foul. She's not going to get it. I don't think she deserved it. And a foul from Riley. Once again, Lander just playing very well on the defensive side, getting in front of every chance and making it work. SCAD pushes forward, but no one there. Seahawks will take possession in their offensive half. Lauren Riley on the end of it. Not one to normally throw in, and she'll leave it for Hannah Moscow. Moscow begging Emily Payne to work forward, saying this might be our last shot. Work the numbers forward. Kennedy finds Riley. Riley outside the box. Puts it towards the net. Not much power. It was deflected. Balsinger finally puts the ball through the air, and man, will that go far. 3/4 of the field before it even bounces. All the way to Zara Board in the other box. As we are under 1 minute to play, just approaching the 30-second mark. Board opts to put it on the ground and kick it away. Kennedy finds her way to it. Moscow looks for numbers ahead. Finds Kennedy. Kennedy down the left wing. We are 20 seconds left in this one. Riley finds Mifumi. Fumi to Poussette. Poussette to Little. Little around a defender.
9.
Works to Poussette. Poussette the shot just wide left.
5, 4,
And that will be
3, 2,
all
1,
doing.
0.
It will be a 1-1 draw. SCAD's first non-win of the season. A well-played game for Matt Dunn's Seahawks. They would want more. But looking back, I'm sure they'll be happy with a draw.
Your final score from Enrico Bocelli Field, Kaiser Seahawks 1, SCAD Savannah Bees 0.
So after 90 minutes,
fans, we thank you for coming out today, and we ask please that you
we
drive
end
home
locked in a
safely.
draw. Kaiser will obviously look to turn it around this weekend. Shouldn't say turn it around, but get back in the win column, of course, this weekend. They have another road match ahead of them with Florida Memorial. The Bees now 12-0-1. Once again, this is Ryan Garcia on the Kaiser Sports Network. Thank you for joining in for more Sun Conference women's soccer action. Men's soccer this weekend will be at home. Be sure to tune in as they play the Lions of Florida Memorial. Once again, final score. Kaiser Seahawks 1, SCAD Bees 1. Goals from Nielsen for Kaiser and from Nelson from SCAD. Thank you once again and have a wonderful rest of your day.